to PurpleYarnivore. How is everyone doing today? Are you freezing in your area yet? It has gotten cold here and I am so not happy about it. I am not a winter person, not even a little bit. So it is the time of year for me to stay indoors as much as possible. I don't tolerate the cold very well. I just don't. I can't stand it. It's bone chilling. And sometimes I wish I could just go to sleep and wake up in late spring like a bear, you know, and pretend winter never happened. But unfortunately, it's the real world. We can't do that. So I'm wearing a hat that I knitted a while ago using scraps from a shawl I made. This is Malabrigo worsted. I got it on Love Crafts. I think it was $10 a skein. I love wearing hats. I love wearing the hats that I make. And but today mostly I'm wearing a hat because my hair is ugly. I haven't washed it yet. And it's been a minute since I made a video because I have been working a lot of hours at my job. Basically, they crammed in, well, I work part-time, but they put in 2 weeks of part-time hours all into 1 week. So I have the next week off of work. I have applied for a second job. Okay, because I know I'm doing the Uber to supplement this job. But I just really want one stable job that's going to give me more than 24 hours a week. So yeah, the job that I have now the manager promised to give me more hours. And what she did basically is give me a lot more hours than 1 week, and then gave me the next week off. But at the end of the pay period, I'm still getting the same hours and the same pay overall. So, and my future schedule does not include more hours. So liar, liar, pants on fire. Anyway, whatever. So I applied for another job. It'll give me at least 32 hours a week. And the job I have now said that if I get another job, they'd be happy to work around those hours. So we'll see. I'm still waiting to hear back about it, but fingers crossed. Anyway, hello to everybody. I tend to ramble a little bit, so forgive me for that. I am talking to a camera. I'm talking to myself, so I have nobody to kind of curb my chattiness. And a lot's been going on. So I've been trying to dabble in the knitting. You know, I would never call myself an experienced knitter or anything. I feel I'm still very beginner knitter, okay? So, but I've also been doing some crocheting, and mostly I crochet, but I've been having fun with some knitting patterns, and I wanted to show you. So the first thing out of the blue, okay, my sister and my daughter, they had a day out and it was so much fun for them. But while I had to work, they had a lot of fun, and it was so nice to hear about their little adventure for the day. And one of the places that they went to, because there's these book series that my daughter just absolutely wanted so bad. And so they went to a place that we have here called Half Price Books. I think it might be in other states, but I'm not totally sure. But they buy people's books that are in good condition, and then they sell them for half the price of half of the listing price. So it's so worth it. There's so many different types of books from like everything there. And so my daughter got a few books, and my sister surprised me and brought me home the Knitter's Bible. And I was so excited because a lot of knitting stitch books that I see, they just have like the diagram, but they don't have the actual written instructions. And I'm better with the written instructions. I'm still trying to read diagrams, schematics, whatever. But I'm not so good at it. So it's good to have the written instructions. And this book tells you like everything about knitting. How you, from all the different types of techniques. And it's color coded into different sections. So you can see like I don't know if you can see, but each section like has a different color. And yeah, it's so interesting from getting started, telling you about the different types of yarn, the plies, the thickness, you know, fun fur, mohair, blue clay, the different types of yarns, yarns for the baby, and talk goes into like hand-dyed yarns and the different types of needles and equipment, and circular versus straight knitting needles, and just giving you instructions on how to purl, how to knit, how to bind off, and just basically for people who've never knitted in their life, who want to learn. So they've got a page here where it's got all the abbreviations for all the knitting stitches and what it means and how to do them. It's got some creative options in here, like with lace knitting. It teaches you how to read a chart, especially with the Fair Isle. So that's one section. They got another one called Exploring Choices, doing basic squares and squares onto needles, and looped knitting and beaded knitting and interlock, and it teaches you step by step how to knit a garment. So you see it's got that knitting a garment, and shaping armholes and the neck and the sides. And there's the stitch library. So it gives you written instructions. They have knit and purl stitches. They have, which a lot of them are really beautiful. They have like the moss stitch diamonds and King Charles brocade, the mock cable, tumbling blocks, like how to, oh, was that hearts? Yep, heart squares. And then they have Gansey patterns. Those are pretty cool. And texture stitches like the bubble stitch, and not sure how to pronounce this, whether it's retching or rushing, but it's R-U-C-H-I-N-G. That's a texture stitch, picot stripe, how to do popcorns and bobbles and smocked stitches, and then it has cables and lace stitches in here, and it gives you the step-by-step instructions. It gives you the multiples and everything you need. And the book invites you to create your own patterns from these stitches. And then in the back, it gives you a section of different projects you can do using the stitches in this book. And it's got mittens and a cable throw, placemat and coaster and a scarf, little lace bags, how to do fulling, and how to make a sweater, and baby booties, and a cardigan, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's just like a plethora of everything knitting in here, and I have been so excited going through this book. So what I want to show you is one of the knitting stitches that I've been working on in this book, and I'll just pull that out real quick. I've got a few knitting projects going on, but with this one I am using, excuse me, gotta reach. Way back when I was in the Knit Crate, monthly Knit Crate club, I had gotten some Vitellana Celestial, and it's really soft. It's 90% alpaca and 10% tencel. It's 150 yards, and it's an Aran weight. So that's the stats on the Vitellana Celestial. And so there's a stitch in this book, I dog-eared it, called the Norwegian Fur. Okay, the Norwegian Fur knitting stitch, and I'm doing it, y'all. I can't believe it, but I am doing it, and this is how it's turning out. Like, I don't know how, it'll definitely need to be blocked. It's kind of curling in a little on the sides, but you can see the stitch pattern. It's so beautiful, and it looks so fancy and complicated, but it's really not. If you know how to knit and purl and yarn over, this is the stitch for you. And every other row is purling, so it's really easy. I'm sure there's some mistakes in here, but I can't really see them. And yeah, it's just a way for me to progress in my knitting besides just making hats or a basic scarf. And this Celestial yarn, it's very soft. This is gonna be, it's like gonna be like my first bougie scarf ever. So yeah, I don't know how well you can see the step, the stitch definition, but oh my goodness. And you can actually look this stitch up on YouTube. There's somebody who does, there's a few people who do the Norwegian Fur stitch, and they can show you how to do that. So I'm working on this, and this is from that book. Another knitting project I am working on, I actually have been wanting to do this since I first started knitting, but just felt like it was kind of above my head, and really I just didn't know how to yarn over at that time. This also has yarn overs, several yarn overs, but all the rows are either knit or purl except for one row, and that's what makes it kind of easy. And I'm sure I've made some mistakes in this one too, but you know, learning or crochet, it's all just a big knitting learning process. So yeah, so I am using the Nako Mona Lisa yarn for this. This was sent to me. I have a previous video about it. Yeah, Me, You, and Yarn, Cheryl, she sent me this yarn, and I wanted to do something beautiful with some of it. So I am knitting the feather and fan stitch, y'all. Isn't it lovely? I love it so much. It's so easy. Oh, I might be showing the wrong side. I was showing the purl side. The wrong side. Here we go. That's better. So yeah, I've started on the feather and fan stitch. It's so easy. It's so fun to do. I try to do at least one repeat. Now, the thing with me and knitting patterns with more than 1 or 2 row repeat is that if I do not complete the entire, all the steps, like, you know, the feather and fan is a 4-row repeat. So I have to complete that entire 4-row repeat before I put it down. Because if I put it down and I get back to it like the next day or something, I'm like, what row was I on? And I'm not so good at just like looking at the stitches and knowing, oh, I left off on this row. Not so good with that. So I always complete the entire 4-row repeat or the entire row repeat of a pattern so that I know I'm always starting back off at row 1 or the very first row of the repeat. And that just, it makes it so much easier for me. So those are the 2 knitting that I most focus on. Oh, and something else I wanted to show you guys as far as knitting, and then I'll show you a crochet project I'm working on, okay? So I really got to lean forward, and I'm about to disappear from the, so I'm going to pause this. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Excuse me. So one of the things I wanted to show you, it's a finished project, okay? And I was really excited to do it, and I'm most likely going to do a lot more of these in the future. Fingers crossed. You know how us knitters and crocheters are. We get very excited about a project. We complete it. We're like, that was fun. I'm going to do it again. And then we just never get back to it. You know, we just have that excitement. But we'll see. My daughter wants a pair. I actually am working on a second pair of these, but I put it down to work on those knitting scarves. So anyway, this is a pattern by Crafting Kitty. She posted a tutorial. Oh, what is it called? Grandmother's slipper pattern or whatever. So I actually had some of that yarn, the homespun yarn that she used, just in a different colorway. I believe this one is called Pearl or something like that. So I knitted myself a pair of slippers. Yeah, and they turned out perfect. Both of them match. Both of them, the size matches and everything. So yeah. I knitted my first pair of slippers and I'm so excited. They turned out well. I did go in and do a single crochet row just to clean up the edge around the foot. When I make these again, I'll probably sew in a little more further into so that the ankle part isn't quite as wide. And I don't know, I might do a ribbed cuff on it too. I don't know. So to me, by the way, Erin, thank you so much for this tutorial. I did it, y'all. But for me, this is just kind of, and this is how I see most patterns, whether it's knit or crochet, as just kind of like a foundation pattern where you can take that pattern and do something else with it, you know, like add a ribbing to make it like go up your ankle, you know, or something like that. So this is just the base, the very basic. And yeah, you could put a pom-pom or, you know, maybe an applique or something. So yeah, I completed my first pair of knit slippers and that was just so thrilling. So anyway, that's what I have to show you right now. I need to make another video because y'all, I got a yarn haul. I do. I've cut way back on my yarn purchasing. I have, but there are a few things that I got. I have I'm proud of myself. I've been far more intentional about buying yarn with a specific project in mind. Of course, there are some exceptions, like the Mona Lisa yarn, okay? But the Mona Lisa yarn will have projects in mind. So, yeah, I'm so excited. I still got to jump into trying to knit socks. I feel, now that I'm doing these scarves, I feel a little more confident about fuzz. I'm distracted. I feel far more confident to be able to knit socks, and because everybody's foot is individual, I'm gonna have to take a lot of notes, I think. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I have to show you today. I'm sorry it took so long to get a video out, but duty calls, and I come home from work so sore and so exhausted. All I want to do is spend an hour actually knitting or crocheting. Oh, what am I saying? That's all. You guys see where I'm at, okay? I said I had a crochet project to show you. Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, how do you like my new little wall hanging thing? It's a kitty with a yarn ball. You guys, I feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like I'm all over the place, okay? So I've been working on the sweater. Okay, the sweater, okay, by Tinna. She has this new sweater out. The name escapes me, but I actually got to video 3, and I know this is gonna look really weird, y'all, but look, I've made progress on it. This is using a yarn that is very itchy and scratchy. Okay, don't put it against your face, but this is something that you can wear over like a turtleneck, and it'll be nice and warm. And when our weather gets like 30 below with the wind chill, this is going to be the thing, itchy or not, that I am going to be wearing. So I'm on video 3 for that sweater. The name of the sweater escapes me. But if you go to Tinna's channel, and I think most of you know what I'm talking about, this is a 10-part video, or 10, she's got 10 videos. It's a crochet along. And I will try to remember to link not all 10 videos, but link the first video, and then subsequent videos will automatically follow after you watch the first one. But yeah, this is going to be, this is the crochet project I've been trying to work on also. So, you know, I got 3 main projects going that I'm very excited about. And yeah, this is not for like my hands can touch it. It's a very, this is gonna, all I can say is this is gonna be nice and warm this winter. I'm doing the size large short. So Tinna, she's the mosaic queen. Anywho, so I have been working on that as well. But because of all the hours that I had to work, like 7 or 8 days in a row, I haven't really had much time to do a lot of any of the projects that I've been working on. So yeah, this is it. Okay. Holy cow. So that is the crochet project I am working on. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it now. So I did tell you that I would show you progress on my Tinna sweater, and and just these new things, finished object, some knitted scarves. Where are my words? Where are my words? Knitted scarves that I'm really excited to do. Anyway, yes. Okay, now I am done. Have you made it this far? All right, I'm done talking. You guys have a beautiful day. Stay warm, stay safe. Do acts of kindness. Take care of each other, especially during the winter months. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.